Welcome to UGC lecture series BSc Physics Honors semester 6 Statistical Physics lecture 8. In this lecture we are going to see Planck's quantum postulates, then Planck's law of black body radiation, then summary about these concepts. Planck's quantum postulates. This Planck's quantum postulates was proposed by Max Planck in the year 1900 to overcome the classical failure of black body radiation. Black body radiation doesn't explain the Rayleigh-Jeans law and lead to a problem called ultraviolet catastrophe. This is overcome by assuming the black body radiation as quantum radiation. In quantum radiation, energy associated with each frequency, each radiation is calculated as h nu. In classical mechanics, thermal radiations are assumed as radiations having energy kT, but in quantum mechanics h nu is the energy associated with each radiation, where h is the Planck's constant, because Planck proposed this concept of quantum radiation. So, his name is given to the constant included in that energy area. So, h is the Planck's constant. Value of that Planck's constant is 6.625 into 10 to the power of minus 34 joule second. Nu is the frequency of the radiation. Here the radiation is assumed as a wave. Wave has wavelength, then frequency. That frequency is taken into account to calculate the energy associated with each radiation. This is the background behind the Planck's quantum theory. While explaining the quantum theory, Planck proposed some assumption called postulates. Those assumptions are called as quantum postulates. In that, the first one is Planck found an empirical formula to explain the experimentally observed distribution of energy in the spectrum of a black body. The formula can be deduced using some assumptions. That assumptions are called as Planck's quantum postulates. The first assumption in that postulate is that radiation chamber is filled with black radiation. That is, the walls of the chamber is formed of molecules which can vibrate with all possible frequencies. There is no frequency restriction in the vibration of the molecules associated with the walls of the chamber, and these molecules are called resonators, and these resonators can exchange energy with radiation. This is the first assumption. So, when black body emit radiation, that radiation will come out from the black body after multiple reflection. That multiple reflection is due to the polished surface of the cavity, which is taken as the black body. So, there exchange of energy will take place with the radiation and the molecules of the wall. The vibration of the resonator entails only 1 degrees of freedom. There are many degrees of freedom, but here it is assumed that vibration of the resonator entails 1 degrees of freedom only. This is the first assumption. Then the second assumption is the oscillator or resonators cannot radiate or absorb energy continuously, but an oscillator of frequency nu can only radiate or absorb energy in the units of quanta of magnitude h nu. This is what I told in the starting of this discussion, that energy associated with each radiation is h nu, then any radiation, here the second postulate says that any radiation must have an energy in multiples of h nu. That is what the second postulate says. The oscillator or resonator cannot radiate or absorb energy continuously, but it absorbs or emits radiation in a discrete manner. The emitted or absorbed energy will be an integral multiple of h nu, where h is the universal constant called Planck's constant. These are the postulates of Planck. Then using this postulate, Planck's radiation law is derived. To derive Planck's radiation law, total number of harmonic oscillators present in the cavity is calculated, then energy associated with each oscillator is obtained quantum mechanically, then that is multiplied with the total number of oscillators. So, total energy associated with the cavity and radiation is calculated, then the emitted energy or absorbed energy is calculated by means of energy density. This is the steps involved in Planck's radiation law. Now, we will see the derivation of Planck's radiation law. In this Planck's radiation law, the most revolutionary postulate is assumption of atom as an oscillator. Here each atom is assumed as an oscillator, harmonic oscillator. Oscillator means it will vibrate. When it vibrates, frequency is associated. That vibration possesses some energy. That energy can be an integral multiple of h nu. So, you can calculate the absorbed or emitted radiation energy using Planck's quantum theory. So, now let us come to the derivation of Planck's radiation law. It is assumed that the total n be the total number of oscillators present. Total number of oscillators present in the resonator, Planck's resonator, and E be the total energy, E be the total energy of the oscillators. Then the average energy per Planck's oscillator is given by average energy per Planck's oscillator is given by epsilon bar is equal to E by n. Keep this as equation 1. Now, according to Maxwell's law of thermodynamics or molecular motion, this epsilon is the energy, then the number of molecules having energy is 0, epsilon, 2 times the epsilon, etc., and goes till r times the epsilon according to Maxwell's concept of thermodynamics. And the molecular motion possesses energy, average energy in the order of 0, epsilon, 2 epsilon or epsilon. Now, the ratio of these energies will be 1 is to e power minus epsilon by kT is to e power minus 2 epsilon by kT is to etc. e power minus r epsilon by kT etc. Keep this as equation 2. This equation gives the energy of the molecules, number of molecules according to Maxwell's law of molecular motion. If the n naught, next we will go to the n naught concept. If n naught is the number of resonators, having energy 0, then N1 be the resonators having energy epsilon, and that energy will be N naught into e power minus epsilon by k t. Then the number of resonators N2 having energy 2 epsilon, number of resonators having energy 2 epsilon will be N naught e power minus 2 epsilon by k t, and in general the resonators, number of resonators N r having energy r epsilon will be N naught e power minus r epsilon by k t, and so on. So, the total energy can be obtained by summing all these energies. The total number of oscillators can be obtained by summing all these oscillators. N is equal to N naught plus N1 plus N2 plus etc. plus N suffix r plus etc. Now, substitute the values N naught plus N1 is nothing but N naught e power minus epsilon by k t, e power minus epsilon by k t. Then N2 is nothing but N naught e power minus 2 epsilon by k t plus etc. Then this N r is N naught e power minus r epsilon by k t plus etc. If we simplify this, we will get N naught into 1 plus e power minus epsilon by k t plus e power minus 2 epsilon by k t plus etc. plus e power minus r epsilon by k t plus etc. So, this is how the total number of oscillators can be obtained. Now, in simplified form, this can be taken as by substituting y is equal to e power minus epsilon by k t. By taking my e power minus epsilon by k t as y, that equation will reduce to n is equal to n naught into 1 plus y square plus etc. plus y suffix r plus etc. Now, this can be written as n is equal to n naught by 1 minus y. Keep this as equation 3. So, to derive Planck's radiation law, first the number of resonators present in the atom in a thermal system can be calculated by assuming the energy possessed. Next, the total energy of the Planck's radiation. Total energy of the resonators will be E is equal to 0 into n naught, because n naught number of atoms possesses 0 energy, plus epsilon into n1, epsilon into n1 plus 2 epsilon into n2 plus etc. plus r epsilon into n r plus etc. So, if we simplify this, you will get 0 plus epsilon into n naught e power minus epsilon by k t plus 2 epsilon into n naught e power minus 2 epsilon by k t plus etc. plus r epsilon into n naught e power minus r epsilon by k t plus etc. Now, using equation 2, using equation 2, we get the n naught epsilon can be taken common. So, e power minus epsilon by k t plus 2 into e power minus 2 epsilon by k t plus etc. plus r into e power minus r epsilon by k t plus etc. So, further simplification of this we will get n naught epsilon, instead of this e power minus epsilon by k t, you can substitute y, already we assumed this. So, y plus 2 y square plus 3 y cube plus etc. plus r y power 4 plus r y power 4, which is equal to n naught epsilon s. Here this y square plus 2 y square plus 3 y cube etc. are all taken as s, where s is equal to y plus 2 y square plus 3 y cube plus etc. plus r y power r plus etc. Now, s y is equal to y square plus 2 y cube plus 3 y power 4 plus etc. plus r minus 1 into y power r. This is what we get for the value of s y. Now, s into 1 minus y is equal to y plus y square plus y cube plus etc. plus y power 4. Further simplification of the above equation, we get s into 1 minus y. So, which will give y by 1 minus y. So, we will get s is equal to y by 1 minus y the whole square. Now, come to the energy E is equal to n naught epsilon into y by 1 minus y the whole square. Keep this as equation 4. Now, the average energy of a resonator will be E bar or epsilon bar, whichever notation you want you can take. E bar is equal to E by n, which is equal to, E value is this one, n naught into epsilon into y by 1 minus y the whole square by n naught by 1 minus y, because n is equal to n naught by 1 minus y is the expression we derived earlier. Now, in terms of epsilon, that can be written as epsilon y by 1 minus y, which is equal to epsilon into the value of y can be substituted in terms of e power minus epsilon by k t divided by 1 minus e power minus epsilon by k t, 1 minus e power minus epsilon by k t. So, the average energy possessed by each oscillator epsilon bar is equal to epsilon by e power epsilon by k t minus 1. Keep this as equation 5. According to Planck hypothesis of quantum, E is equal to h nu, epsilon is equal to h nu. You can substitute this epsilon is equal to h nu in equation 5. So, epsilon bar is equal to h nu divided by epsilon power h nu by k t minus 1. is the expression we get for epsilon bar. So, epsilon is equal to h nu, substitute this in the thing. So, the average energy epsilon bar is equal to h nu by e power h nu by k T minus 1. Keep this as equation 6. Now, the number of resonators between the frequency nu and nu plus d nu, the number of resonators between the frequency nu and d plus nu can be written as n of nu d nu is equal to 8 pi nu square by c cube. This is equation 7. This concept is obtained from the calculation of number of resonators per unit volume. This is also called as energy density. Using this you can calculate the energy density, include this with that epsilon bar, you multiply this with the epsilon bar, you will get the Planck's radiation law. So, average energy density will be E nu d nu is equal to that n of nu d nu into that h nu epsilon bar. So, now substitute the value of n of nu d nu and epsilon bar. We know that n of nu d nu is nothing but 8 pi nu square by c cube. This epsilon bar is nothing but d nu, this is d nu should come, then keep this as one entity. This epsilon bar is h nu by e power h nu by k T minus 1. Keep this as another entity. So, clubbing this you will get E nu d nu is equal to 8 pi h nu cube. So, here one nu square, here one nu, multiplying both you will get nu cube divided by c cube into 1 by e power h nu by k T minus 1. 1 by e power h nu by k T minus 1. Here this is the energy density. This is called the energy density. This energy density is the Planck's radiation law. So, Planck's radiation law gives in the energy density E nu h nu is equal to 8 pi h nu cube by c cube into 1 by E h nu by k T minus 1. Here that h nu is the energy possessed by each radiation of frequency nu, or each harmonic oscillator which vibrates with a frequency nu. That k T is the thermal energy possessed by atom, thermal entity. So, in Planck's radiation law, both quantum concept and classical concept are included. So, thermodynamical concepts are included. So, this Planck's radiation law obeys all type of radiation and all types of thermodynamical principles. So, 8 pi h nu cube by c cube into 1 by e power h nu by k T minus 1. We know equipartition energy. This equipartition energy is the energy possessed by each degrees of freedom in a thermal system. So, this Planck's hypothesis, this Planck's concept, Planck's quantum mechanical radiation law can be applied to light waves. So, if light is emitted by a molecule, the energy possessed by the light will be h nu. That nu is the transition frequency or vibrational frequency of the emitting entity. Using this Planck's concept, Albert Einstein explained the photoelectric effect. So photoelectric effect could not be explained by the normal theories of light. Only the quantum theory of light explains the photoelectric effect. That quantum theory of light is a concept borrowed from Max Planck. So that is the success of this quantum theory of radiation. So in this lecture we learnt Planck's postulates. Planck's postulate says that a chamber is filled up with black radiation. The walls of chamber is formed of molecules. These molecules can vibrate with all possible frequencies, and these molecules are called as resonators. Then in the derivation of Planck's radiation law, we derived the average energy possessed by each molecule. That average energy possessed by each molecule comes as h nu by e power h nu by kT minus 1. Then this average energy possessed by each molecule is multiplied with the total number of molecules present in a radiation, that is n nu d nu. So we got the Planck's radiation law. So that is the thing we learnt from this lecture. Then after listening to this lecture, you can answer the following questions. State the Planck's postulate. Obtain an expression for the wavelength corresponding to maximum energy of emission according to Planck's formula. Give the average energy of Planck's oscillator. These questions can be answered after listening to this lecture. Thank you.